Okay, now I'm going to ask about what they teach about religion in public schools in Holland. And
We don't have such a thing as private schools now.
you don't have any private schools.
Not really.
What
There are
about
some,
what about Catholic schools?
but not private. It's all public schools.
Could you have a public Catholic school?
Yeah.
Is it called public then?
It's not for us. It has nothing to do with public. All the schools are governmental schools. It's,
All schools, government schools.
and you can put your child in any school you like.
Private schools, it's only for you see this.
Some kids are, when they are in high school, they got a bit of track, and some parents put them in private schools, and you pay a lot of money for that, but it's maybe 1% of all the kids are going to private schools. It's normal to go to public school.
Okay, I have to think about this a minute. Wait, no, I'll ask you this. So in other words, like in other countries, the Catholic Church wants to create more Catholics, obviously. So they start with kids, and they completely control the school in a way, except I think the Ministry of Education, Department of Education above, tells them a certain curriculum, but they can always add courses about religion or whatever. So, do the Catholics try to do anything like that in Holland?
Yeah, we have the verzuiling. We had in history you had we call it in Dutch the verzuiling. I don't know, do not really know the English word for it, but it's like the separation. And then there are like 3 different mainstreams: the Catholic mainstream, the Protestant mainstream, and the I don't know the word for
I really don't know what it is.
Openbare
Just public school without.
public schools without religion. So and you had it in radio and television and everything, and the government just pays all 3 different kind of schools, so you can choose whatever you want to put your kids in: public school without religion, Catholic or Protestant.
Okay, now on that, for example, I've been looking at these legal rights of teenagers. Let's say you're 14 and your parents have chosen to put you in a Catholic school, but you don't want to go to this Catholic school. In Holland, can a 14-year-old do anything, or do they have to keep going to that school?
I guess you have to keep going, but I don't think it's really important at school. I mean, you can go to a Catholic school, but they maybe have 1 hour of Catholic.
Even at the Holland high schools, but religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you have the same.
Yeah.
But we went to the public school without religion.
Yes.
But the other 2 schools were Protestant and Catholic.
Which schools? Where we lived? Was it?
Yeah, Girls' College is a Catholic school.
Well, it's not really strict, eh?
No, that's what I tried to say.
Yeah, it's
not
totally
really not important.
But let's say that, I don't know, your best friends or something went to another school, or for whatever reason you want to go to a different school. You can't choose. Your parents choose. In any case, your parents choose, I suppose.
Yeah, but Holland's quite standard. At the age of 14, you can discuss with your parents.
12.
See, this is the key. We assume that everybody can discuss it with your parents. And in Holland, probably, people I know from Holland, a lot of times they can discuss things with their parents. But I know these teenagers I talk to, they can't. There's no discussion. They've tried to talk to their parents so many times, they've learned it's useless. It's actually counterproductive. They feel worse after they try to talk to them. And so this is what I also want anybody in the world to know about, is that we're losing really good people. These are typically very sensitive people, very intelligent people, very creative people. They're nonconformists. And for all those reasons, they question things. They don't just accept that, for example, that Eve came from Adam's rib. Now, if you're intelligent, even at 12, you start questioning things like, if God loves us, then why does He have so many people die in the world, and etc., etc. And if your father's very religious, you don't get good answers, and you're told not to question. Maybe you're even beaten. I talked to one girl whose father was a preacher, and she was beaten, and she was talked about like the hellfire and stuff, and she would lay awake at night and have nightmares about going to hell and things. And then she would wake up and scream, and her father would come in and beat her for waking him up. Now this girl's going to have problems all her life, obviously. Yeah, he called her, I'll never forget this, she said he used to call her dumber than a mud fence.
Okay.
So
Because he has questions.
I don't know, just he was always insulting her, putting her down psychologically. It was tremendous emotional psychological abuse, not to mention physical abuse. I write a lot about emotional abuse. I've got one of the top sites actually on Google on emotional abuse, which I didn't intend to have. But I started writing about emotional intelligence, and then from there I got into emotional abuse. And now, because I do real life things like this, I don't just study this stuff in textbooks. I'm not a psychologist. Well, depends what you call a psychologist, but the psychologists usually don't like me. Because I basically say that these teenagers that you're putting on medication, antidepressant medication, there's nothing wrong with them. The problem is with the society. What they're trying to do is kind of like what the communists used to do. If you didn't fit into the communist society, the problem was you. It wasn't the system. So the system tries to make you fit it instead of trying to make the system fit you.
Yeah.
So the system doesn't meet the needs of these teenagers, so it says you have a problem and we need to put you on medication because you're hyperactive or you're depressed. Well, if I get depressed myself, and if nobody understands me, nobody listens to me, nobody cares about me, nobody loves me, I feel completely alone, I see no hope, I get depressed. And I don't need medication to make me undepressed. I need somebody who listens to me, accepts me, understands me, helps me. And then all of a sudden I'm not depressed. So I know from personal experience I don't need medication. I mean, my emotions change according to the people I'm around. And I can sometimes use like positive psychology, but it helps a lot more if somebody's like actually there.
Yeah, but I guess you always need people around you, and love. Love is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, I agree. And I was a business major. I've got an MBA degree. I made a lot of money. I was successful. But then later in life, I thought about killing myself. So I went from successful to suicidal. And I come over to Eastern Europe and I see everybody becoming capitalistic, buying Coca-Cola, for example. And I got this kind of campaign against Coca-Cola, this little personal campaign, because looks like it's still recording. Because I started thinking, like, why did Coke come to Romania? Why do you think Coca-Cola came to Romania?
To earn money.
Say it again.
To earn money.
What do you think?
Of course, money is on.
You don't think it's because they care about the people in Romania?
I don't think Coca-Cola has anything to do with caring about people.
No, I don't either.
think any big concern like that has anything to do with caring about people.
Exactly. And this kind of disgusts me because the people that are shareholders in Coca-Cola, they already have enough money that they can invest in stock. They're not worrying about eating tomorrow, like a lot of people in the world are. They have extra money. They're investing in stock, speculating to make more money. And yeah, I was a capitalist, but now I think you can do other things with the money that you make. So let's see. But yeah, back to schools. Did you know that in American schools now? Well, let me ask you this: is it okay in Holland to go to school with a T-shirt that says "I hate this fucking school"?
A teacher who says I hate
I
this
don't
one.
know. I don't think so. We're quite liberal in Holland, but I don't think that's okay to do.
What do you think would happen if you walked in with that T-shirt?
It depends on the school. Probably most schools will just say you're not allowed to wear that. And maybe they even send you home for one day. Just go to home and change your shirt. But also schools, they don't say anything about it. They don't make really a big problem of it.
What if you went to school with a picture of a guy smoking a joint or a marijuana plant?
We live in Holland. This is no problem.
Oh yeah, in Amsterdam you can actually legally smoke marijuana.
No,
No, it's not really legal. It's tolerated.
it's tolerated, but you have coffee shops all over Holland and you can smoke.
But not hard drugs like heroin.
That's not allowed.
It's for small amounts. It's tolerated.
They won't put you in jail if you have like 3 pills of ecstasy.
Okay, hang on. Let me stop this because if it goes over 10 minutes, YouTube won't take it.